What's going on, everybody? Adrian here. Welcome back to the channel and to the weekly MMO news. Let's go through some of the highlights from the past week, beginning with the Elder Scrolls Online. The JESTER'S festival is back in town, and if you are new to the game and don't know what the hell this is or what's it for, just know there is an intro quest that you can do to acquire the Pie of Misrule in your collection, and using this item will grant you a 2-hour 100% XP buff, which is awesome to level up another character or farm some CP in preparation for the upcoming chapter. Be sure to pick up the festival invitation scroll from the Crown store to get you started. Otherwise, visit the pavilions outside all of ESO's major faction cities like Ebonheart, Volkelgard, and Daggerfall. The event will run until April the 2nd, so that's plenty of time. For everyone else, the daily Jester's quests are back with rewards featuring Caldwell's Kitchen Armstyle pages, new mementos, and rune boxes, so don't miss out. Okay, let's move on. Here's a good one. Albion Online is going free to play. The Sandbox MMORPG by Sandbox Interactive, which is the actual name of the developers here, will drop its buy-to-play model for a free one come April 10th, 2019, which means if you have never played it before, you can simply download the game client from the website, create a free account, and join in the action. After 2 years of being out as a buy-to-play game, what's with the free-to-play transition? According to the studio, the game is stable and growing, having recently released its 6th major content update. However, they believe the game has the potential to go even further, and in today's world, a $30 paywall for a niche sandbox MMORPG isn't attractive anymore, and thus the reasons for going free to play. To cut the official PR speak, let's just say more players, more money, more content for them hopefully. So they have an FAQ on their website that you can read up on, and for veteran players this is important. What do you get if you bought one of those founders packs like I did before the free to play switch at launch? We all want some form of rewards or compensation for being one of the firsts, right? So everyone that has redeemed a founders pack or a starter pack before April 10th will receive thank you gifts like a Spectre Wolf mount that has the same stats as a Dire Wolf, and it will not be available anywhere else at any point in the future. There's also 1,000 gold in-game currency, which is nothing even back when I was playing it, and finally 3 days of claimable premium, which is also kinda meh. A week would be nice. So that's that. Albion Online is going free to play, and if you're in the market for a sandbox MMORPG, RuneScape and Ultima style, full loot on death and PvP zones and more, then be sure to mark your calendars, April 10th, free to play. On to World of Warcraft. Most of you probably already know this, but just as a quick PSA for those who don't, World of Warcraft is having a free weekend for inactive accounts, and unfortunately there's not much time left as the promo ends 24th of March, which is Sunday, but it began on Thursday, so hopefully you got back in and got to see what's new in Azeroth. Returning players can even access the trial experience for the Battle for Azeroth expansion, and should you decide to renew your subscription and stay, the BFA expansion is on sale right now. The standard edition is currently at $30 and will remain so until the 31st of March. At that price point, perhaps it's worth a look, considering BFA has had many tweaks and improvements and content drops since launch to continue the expansion's campaign story. There's new raids, of course, and the new allied races too. What else is new? Let's hop on over to Terria and Guild Wars 2. We've had the brand new Warclaw PvP mounts released a couple of weeks ago, and I made a video about that. And this week, ArenaNet has announced that the popular Super Adventure Box Festival is coming back to the game on March 28, and it will run until April 18. Now, for players who are new to Guild Wars 2 and haven't heard about the SAB Festival, this one is a must-play at least once. It's a pixelated minigame within the game, and it's a large-level dungeon-style crawler featuring fun and funky and funny enemies, level designs, puzzles, traps, and the rewards for persevering through them includes really cool weapon skins and other unique stuff that only comes around once or twice a year if they ever come around again. You can play it solo or with others, and of course it's free. Even free-to-play account players can access this, so take note of the date, March 28. The SAB adventure returns to Guild Wars 2. Alrighty, up next, we've got some news from GW2 and its free-to-play MMORPG, Rift. And Rift has had quite the last 12 months, huh? From launching its Prime server to being bought over by GW2, massive staff layoffs, and through all of that, here we are celebrating the game's 8th anniversary this week. GW2 announced the release of Update 4.8 earlier in the week, which sees a new expert dungeon go live in-game, which is the Enclave of the Akhnat. that's a mouthful, a 5-man expert dungeon that's like a tower crawler, and that sounds pretty cool. The update also brings the Carnival of the Ascended, which is Rift's usual festival whenever the anniversary season comes around, and players can take part in some activities to earn rewards from mounts, essences, costumes, pets, and things like that. I guess congrats is in order to Rift for making it to 8 years, which I honestly didn't think it would, considering all that's happened so far. So let's see if Gamigo decides to roll the dice and invest in Rift for the next year or so. Up next, a little downer. Some of you may have heard of a game called Survived By. This is an RPG bullet hell, 8-bit style game with an MMO community that launched its closed beta on Steam shortly after its reveal at the Game Awards 2018, and back then I found it pretty refreshing. So you start off with one character of a class archetype, and because of the difficulty of the game, you will eventually die in a dungeon or in a boss fight, and it's permadeath. The cool thing about it though is the next character you create is going to be a direct descendant of your first character, and that second character will take on several traits from the first to make the second one better. It's a cool concept. It's a free-to-play game with optional microtransactions, but unfortunately this week the devs have announced that the game will be shutting down on April 19th, and it hasn't even been out for 6 months. So kinda sad, but according to the devs, things aren't working out, whether it's the revenue or the player numbers, who knows. But there will be a stoppage of all in-game purchases, and refunds will be handed out to everyone who has ever purchased some packs or in-game items in the coming weeks. Last but not least, do we have any expansion news for any of the MMOs out there? We do indeed. Free-to-play MMORPG Skyforge by My.com will be releasing its latest expansion called New Horizons on April 9th. And this will be free for all Skyforge players, and it follows the events from the previous expansion, Distant Frequencies. Skyforge players will be sent out on a recon mission to an entirely new planet called Terra, so expect new biomes, environments, stories, and even a new race to encounter. There is a cool feature too in the expansion called Programs, which is a brand new in-game mechanic that lets players manage the development of the new planet Terra. And through upgrades to the programs, players can research more about the planet, change its appearance over time, and unlock new story chapters, special missions, and of course rewards as well. Oddly enough, the trailer still hasn't dropped yet for the expansion since this week's announcement, so be sure to keep an eye out on official Skyforge or My.com channels if that's what you're after. And that's all I've got, folks. So that's it for me for this weekend's news drop. As usual, I'll update you guys if anything major develops between now and next weekend. And if there's anything I didn't cover for a game you play, let us know what's happening in your MMO in the comments section below. Hit the like button for more MMO vids, and feel free to subscribe to the channel and get notified on all my latest uploads. Once again, I'm Adrian, and I thank you for watching. Hey folks, thanks so much for watching that video. If you guys want to watch more, you can click the subscribe button at the bottom there or somewhere over here. And don't forget to hit that bell to get notified on all my latest videos. So I'll see you guys at the next vid. Take care.